social media had informed of plans to march against foreign migrants in South Africa, and specifically on foreign business owners, shops, and undocumented nationals. That's just a quote, a part of it. I don't know if you remember in 2019, we suffered a lot as a people. Nigerians, I'm talking about, xenophobic attacks in 2019. I remember we even had a march to that effect. Yes. Before that, I was a part of a street march in Nigeria here calling for, better lives for Nigerians living in South Africa. Blacks, natural, generally, even foreign people. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard living in peace and in harmony, right? What's the threat about? Always say if it's xenophobic attacks, these people are taking your jobs, they're taking your wives, they're taking your this. That's it. Remember that you also have people living in other countries. Right. And not saying anything, but we should treat other people the way we would love to be treated. You say the golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Anyway, remember that in that 2019, that development almost led to a diplomatic row between Nigeria and South Africa, that particular experience. And there were concerns of illicit reprisal attacks and looting of South African businesses in Lagos and in Abuja. That happened, and we do not want a repeat of that again. We don't want that situation to happen, so we're begging everyone to please, let's all have sense. Let's just try as much as we can. This group is known, right? They're a known group. They said they are Dudula. At least that's what the statement says. Yes, from the quote on that statement, Operation Dudula, that's what they are called, and their threat to attack foreign nationals in South Africa. They're known. Can we, they say everything is about communication, conversation. Is it possible to have some sort of communication or conversation with these people? Could they not take us back there again, the experience of 2019 or even earlier, 2017, I guess? We've had this kind of things happen so many times, and it's really not cool. Anyway, the moral of the story is be careful, be vigilant, be security conscious. Go about your lawful business as Nigerians. Do not take laws into your hands, but make sure that you're careful if you live in South Africa. Yeah, people listen to us from everywhere in the world. It is Citizen FM, so yes, I believe someone is listening to me from South Africa. Pass the word around. All right, let's be careful. First, your life matters. Okay, so there is fresh updates on this move by NBC to, revoke license of 53 broadcast stations in the country. Let us establish, though, that it was right here on News Roundup that I gave that update that NBC themselves, they're not even insisting anymore. They're saying, okay, they have extended the time indefinitely. And it could, as I remember that day I said this could be months, years. Some stations are owing like since 2006. And they haven't paid. So it's possible that people, that they may not even raise dust again for the next couple of years. So they themselves, they have already said that they're calming down for now. But that's not all. There's been a court sentence. Remember the period when 53 broadcast stations were under threat? A lot of people came out to talk. Journalists, union of journalists, different people, different associations, their umbrella bodies came out to say, hey, this move may just be too, stiff. It may just be too much. Calm down on it. Shutting down 24 hours. So they extended it it was supposed to be Monday. The directive was supposed to take effect Monday of that week. Then there was an extension until Tuesday of that week. But before close of work of that Tuesday, they came out to say, hey, okay, we're slowing it down. But before that, we remember, I took it here on News Roundup, that Serap had gone to court. Yeah, Serap and Actors or Nigerian Guild of Editors, they went to court. So what is the court saying now? The update is that the Federal High Court in Lagos has stopped the president and NBC, that's the National Broadcasting Commission, from revoking the licenses of these broadcast stations that are said to have defaulted in renewal of license. So, Honorable Justice Akintayo Aluko of Court 8 today granted an order of interim injunction following the hearing of an argument on motion ex parte by SERAP, that's the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, and Nigerian Guild of Editors. SERAP and NGE filed a lawsuit against the president and NBC, asking the court for a declaration that Section 10A of the third schedule to the NBC Act used by NBC to threaten to revoke the licenses of these broadcast stations and to shut down the station is unconstitutional, and it is unlawful, and it violates freedom of expression. That was their plea in court. SERAP and NGE, that's the Guild of Editors body, they had asked the court for an order of interim injunction restraining the president and NBC, their agents as well, from revoking the licenses of these stations in the country, pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice filed in the suit. So the suit is adjourned to 8th of September 2022 for hearing on the motion on notice for interlocutory injunction. That's happening. So on the 8th rather of September, there'll be more update on that. Anyway, as I gave you a rundown already, it's about the whole NBC shutting down, revoking license of 53 stations. They're saying, hey, that would not see the light of day now, would it? Nope. There's a court order on that already. Alrighty. So, what's up? There's such a sad story from Enugu State that got me my feelings. A husband, a groom, 6 wedding they died. 6 wedding guests died in Enugu, and the police are investigating the matter. Somewhere in Uzowani local government area of Enugu, there's just mysterious death of a groom and 6 wedding guests in the community. So the State Police Command confirmed the development, saying that, yes, it happened. People just died, just so random. A groom on his own wedding day and 6 other guests who were at the wedding. But a full-scale investigation had been ordered into the incident, and the sources have disclosed that 8 other people, including the bride, were also receiving treatment at a hospital in the community. Of course, for security reasons, they don't want to give the name of the hospital yet. So this is the story. It was gathered that the victims had returned from a traditional wedding ceremony in Odeno local government area of the state and were discovered dead the next morning. So people who were there said the deceased and others may have been victims of inhaled carbon dioxide from a power generating set which was brought to the veranda of a house where the victims passed the night on returning from that wedding ceremony. So that particular source even said the actual cause of the death will only be ascertained when autopsy is conducted on the dead bodies. But for the now, there are just speculations here and there that it may just be as a result of inhaled carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide from a power generating set. Yeah, they brought it to the veranda where they were, and we have always heard about it. Maybe if you didn't know, this is saying it again, that it's very dangerous to inhale that gas that it emits, generating set. So keep your generating set as far as possible away from you. Yes, especially if you know you have to breathe. I mean, how do you not even breathe, right? This story I mentioned earlier, right? Give me a minute. So a Nigerian man, not in Nigeria though, he went to India, started living there, in fact married an Indian woman. The couple came together and decided to do mighty things. Yeah. By mighty, I mean duping a government employee of about 30,000 lakh, approximately 15 million naira thereabout. So they were arrested in Delhi by the police, and it's such a disturbing story, because here we are trying to paint a better image for Nigeria, and some Nigerians are just not doing us proud, getting themselves involved in deals like this. And him and his wife though, so if you want to say maybe it's a gang up against him, what about his wife? His wife is from there, right? Anyway, maybe it was love. He did it, I don't know, for whatever reason. But the story is that a Nigerian, and that's what just hurts feelings most times, a Nigerian. If it's not something that, that is such great story, you just start hearing some, it's not so cool anyway. Okay, no, I won't take the story yet. There's an update on this particular story, this FRSC thing. I don't know if you heard the beginning of the story. So it was said that Okay, today is 29th, right? So 16th will be what? Last week? 2 weeks ago? Anyway, on 16th, though, it was said that an official of FRSC allegedly stabbed a bus driver to death. Now, what's worse is that there were eyewitnesses at the scene of the crime. Eyewitnesses said the driver refused to part with money, and it led to confrontation with the FRS official who stabbed him to death. And the situation caused tension in the area as youths stormed the FRSC office in the state. In fact, there were reports that the FRSC office in the state had been set ablaze by youths of the community. Well, there are reports that the FRSC sector commander had been shielding the killer officer and those who were on duty on that day of the incident. And some people, I mean, according to sources, even said that a secret plot by the FRSC to transfer the particular officer that has been accused of this act, as of stabbing an officer to death. They said there were plans to transfer the officer out of the state, that's Abia State, without prosecution. Now, that's just the backstory. The update is that FRSC said this is not true. That is not true. The sector commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Mr. Paul Ogu in Abia State, denied shielding the officer who allegedly killed a driver at a checkpoint along the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway in Isi-Alangwa South. Yeah. So, they're saying it's not true. They're doing their investigation on the matter. So tensions should please calm down first. Let them round off their investigations before we, say whether or not that this has happened. And in fact, he said that it is shocking that after almost 2 weeks, the FRSC has not exposed those who killed the bus driver. That's what people are saying. But for now, they're saying no. Whatever you heard is not the entire story. So calm down on it. We are doing our investigation, and once that's done, we will bring you up to speed with it. Anyway, I'm sure you heard in the news already, on news from across the state, how that the court has rejected the federal government's request to extradite Abba Kyari to U.S. for trial. Yeah, that's not to be overflogged. It already happened. Yeah, it was today. It was today. They dismissed an application, just total dismissal. Asking that the one that asked for permission to extradite the DCP Abba Kyari to U.S. to face trial over his alleged involvement with Hush Puppy on the matter. Yeah, so it's no longer there. It's no longer there. And I don't know, do we have enough time for this now? Anyway, yeah, I did mention this, so it's just important to take the story because I mentioned it earlier. WHO, that's the World Health Organization, has issued a quality pre-qualification to the first African manufacturer of a key anti-malarial drug used to prevent infection in pregnant women and in children. Great news. So it's actually a Kenyan manufacturer, Universal Corporation Limited. So the certification will support regional efforts to combat malaria through local production of high quality drugs to, combat this whole situation. Now, this is, just to clarify, this is not express, express certification to say, hey, go ahead and start production. No, it is just a pre-qualification certification, and it was achieved with funding from Global Health Agency, UNAID. So, the pre-qualification is a service provided by WHO to assess the quality, the safety, and efficacy of medicinal products. The quality assurance of UCL's SP products opens a route for procurement by global scale-up partners that will improve access, and it will also help to strengthen Africa's ability to combat endemic diseases. So what this means is that, to the degree that we know, they have to go ahead to, do further research on the matter before we begin to have conversations, loud conversations on whether or not. And I'll round off with this story about ASU extending the strike again. Oh, God. This is so exhausting, right? So the Academic Staff Union of Universities, they've said they're extending strike. In fact, there's our news team, I saw some of them doing a vox pop, trying to take people's reactions on the matter and how they feel about it. That will be coming to you on our news bulletin later tonight. That will be at 8 p.m. So stay with us. I know the pulse is not even right at all. I took a listen to a few people talk on the matter, and my God, they're not feeling cool about it at all. They're not. I mean, I am not even feeling cool about it. Everybody is not feeling cool about it. This thing back and forth. My God. This is August. August has rounded off. This thing started like a joke in February, and it's been what months? And now there's no end in sight. So 2022 will just pan out like that, just like that. Ha! 93.7 Citizen FM. I'll be back bottom of the hour with a quiz show. Stay with us. I am Didi.